Valentine's Day is just around the corner, less than 2 weeks to go. Are you ready? Do you have something special planned for that special someone? Well, whether you do or you don't, we Christians are called to love one another. And here are those classic words from Paul's first letter to the church at Corinth. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but it rejoices in the truth. It bears all things. It believes all things. It hopes all things. It endures all things. Love never ends. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. And the greatest of these is love. Well, of all of Paul's writings, this passage is the most likely one to make it into an anthology of great literature. Of all his writings, this is the one likely to be written in calligraphy or cross-stitch and properly framed to hang in the living room. And what would a wedding be without 1 Corinthians 13? Now, don't get it wrong. I mean, these words didn't just kind of come out of the sky to Paul in the attempt to just write something that would be read at weddings throughout the centuries. Paul's words were written to a church in Corinth that was in turmoil. Well, how do we respond today when we hear such words? Do we just sort of glaze over these words? Familiarity breeds contempt. Do they make us feel uncomfortable? Do they convict us? Do they inspire us? Can these words be believed by this cynical world, much less lived out in the life of the church? Paul's words remind us that love is essential, love is practical, and love is permanent. But you know something? That doesn't mean that love is easy. Love can be very difficult, can take a lot of work. And there are people in all of our lives, let's admit, where to love them, it's flat out almost impossible, it feels. And that's when we need the Holy Spirit the most. Friends, please remember that it is at those times when our loved ones seem most unlovable that they actually need our love the most. After all, that is the love of Jesus Christ. For God is love. I invite you to our worship here at Bellevue Presbyterian Church in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, every Sunday morning at 10:30, in person or on Facebook Live. This has been another 2-minute takeaway with Pastor Scott.